response to a tweet. I have many people responding as we've been practicing, rehearsing, hearing where I'm coming from with the Phil Williams show. And I'm not necessarily trying to be controversial, but it's going to be controversial because it's the nature of the thing, because I have zero tolerance for foolishness. You know, it got you. Well, so now I'm about to go into my response to a tweet. And what this is I put out a tweet Friday. And that tweet was, and I'm looking for that tweet real quick. Give me a second so I can respond to it fully. That tweet was, yes, here it is. It said, Martin Luther King Jr. would not have been marching in support of Black Lives Matter. And now I'm going to explain it in my response to a tweet. This tweet that I picked came from @Vicky627. @Vicky627. And this is not a negative thing. And I totally appreciate Vicky627's response. But the response was, he would have, because he fought against injustices and supported U.S. law, including due process. So my response to Vicky627's tweet is this. I believe that he would not have marched for Black Lives Matter because Black Lives Matter is too narrow-minded with what they're trying to get us to understand when it comes to Black Lives Mattering. They picked one section where the police, in their opinion, are just gunning down innocent black men or young men. That is so far from the truth. And Black Lives Mattering from that narrow perspective is so not Martin Luther King. The police, I'm not giving them carte blanche to shoot anyone. But Martin Luther King was a black life that picked a way to matter to his community in a positive and just way. Martin Luther King marched for innocent, hard-working black people that were having dogs and water hoses sicked upon them like they were criminals. He responded it to the injustices and wanted the due process of people who were innocent being treated like criminals. The Black Lives Matter movement is advocating on behalf of young people that are not pillars in their community, not trying to be positive in their community. They're doing things that's having the justice system look upon them and trying to incarcerate them, trying to remove them from the society which they are bringing fear and terror to. And so they end up in the resisting arrest standpoint being shot, which I'm not advocating for. But I believe Martin Luther King would have came, we're in a situation with Ferguson right now, and I believe Martin Luther King would have came to Mike Brown and said, Mike Brown, you matter because God made you matter, and the actions that you are taking is contradicting what God created you for. Martin Luther King would have shared with him the wages of sin is death, and he would have said, young man, if you continue down this road, I can't see a positive outcome for you unless you change your ways, because you're a black life that matters. Martin Luther King would not have took this narrow view of Black Lives Matter and go out there and tear up his own neighborhood enacting that thought process. Martin Luther King would not have let hands up, don't shoot as a lie stand as the foundation from which he was protesting. Martin Luther King stood for all lives mattering. and he advocated and protested and marched for black lives that were trying to matter being treated like they didn't matter. So my statement is, Martin Luther King would not have supported this aspect of Black Lives Matter. He would not stand and take the narrow killing of black men and substitute that and stay focused on that when young black men are killing black men by the buckets. He would have said Black Lives Matter as a whole. He would go speak to those people in Chicago that's killing people. He would go speak to those people. And he would say, you killing each other shows that you don't matter to each other. And he would try to fix that first. So remember this. Do not trade God's you process for this world's do process. This is the Phil Williams Show. Be back after this break.